Hello and welcome to the first lesson of the course From Wounded to Healing Empath. I am Aurora and I'm walking with you through this course on exploring what is an wounded empath, what are some strategies that I myself as a wounded empath learned along this journey of healing, and I would love to share with you. In order for you to be helped by these strategies and by this kind of knowledge in your healing path. This first lesson, we will explore together what is people pleasing. We'll see a brief introduction to people pleasing, and then we'll talk about soulmates, how people pleasing, wounded empaths, soulmates connect together, and we'll have a series of exercises and reflections about boundaries and how saying no is a full sentence. So let's walk and let's talk. We are social creatures and we live in communities, smaller or bigger, and we connect with each other through exchanging of thoughts, behaviors, and patterns. As an wounded empath, you probably learned at an early age to hide your true self in order to gain others' favors. What does it mean? When you were little, from the age 3 to 7, most probably, you learned to behave and never to express difficult emotions such as fear, anger, exultation, because they were not appropriate to be understood by the people around you, or those people, were not able to help you cope with those difficult emotions, which were mostly cries for help, of needs you had and were not fulfilled. People pleasing is both a conditioned behavior and a subconscious survival tactic that keeps individuals from facing the fear of rejection. People pleasing as a coping mechanism of your primal fear of rejection, embodied in your subconscious mind, comes with you and with all of us since the beginnings of time. We still feel it in our modern society, and we create this pattern of behavior in our adulthood, whether to avoid rejection or its consequences by avoiding conflicts and prioritizing harmony, often at the expense of your own feelings, seeking others' approval and going out of your way to gain affirmations, overcommitting and giving excessively in relationships, hoping to feel valued. During my healing journey, I learned that no is a complete sentence. As a wounded empath, no was almost never part of my everyday vocabulary. I used to say yes to overlapping people, places, things, tasks, and even careers for almost 20 years, since no for me was a way of missing out and rest was just another word, never a state of being. Most of those commitments I used to feel compelled to take on my shoulders were just some no answers I was afraid to share with the respective people in order to avoid conflict, mostly with people I cared about, and making myself to choose silencing my beliefs and discounting them as inferior or wrong. And you can see my third lesson, if you are not seeing the lessons in their order, where I talk about the fear of judgment. Eventually, learning to say no was a transformative moment for me. Initially, I felt guilty, especially when saying no to a close friend or family member. I remember when I started this habit to walk myself on a certain time of the day around my city every afternoon as part of my walking meditation. For a habit to take place in your life, it takes around 21 days, according to some studies. My mom called me the second day of my new habit to ask for a favor, which was supposed to interfere with my process to establish this new habit. In the past, I would have said immediately yes, despite it being a no for me. This time around, I said no, since I was committed to prioritize my boundaries to improve my own well-being. People will always keep wanting things from you, like time, energy, favors, etc. It is up to you to understand where your boundaries stay and how they protect you and even those people too. It's a win-win. As we saw, people pleasing for an empath stem from the desire to help others, since empaths can understand the emotional state of being in others and also strong emotions. It is in our nature to transmute them into lighter ones. Yes, it comes with a hidden hope of receiving appreciation or connection in return, but only from people we really want to have in our life. And we crave to belong and to find people like us, and we search for them everywhere we go. Usually, these people come in our life in our new beginnings, like when you graduate from high school to university or college, you change the city or country where you live, or just when your life changes from a cycle to another one. When you meet certain people, it is easy for you to overshare all your life experience because you kind of feel compelled by the other person to do so. It is the connection between the two of you that makes you do that. For almost everybody, it comes easily to tell their life story to an empath at their first meeting. From there being a one-time communication or several decades brings connection and helps the instauration of a relationship. Self-reflection on past patterns. Now I'm inviting you to do a past inventory on your past experiences when you can recognize your people-pleasing behavior as a survival tactic often driven by low self-esteem or a need for acceptance. You can individuate your three most important relationships into your life where this pattern was present or it is present. You may be a wounded empath who found me today. You can journal with the help of the following guidelines. What are three past relationships where you now recognize people-pleasing behaviors? How did you feel when saying yes instead of no in these relationships? Yes, okay. What emotions? Example, fear, guilt, drive this behavior. Some of those people with whom we really feel a connection in the moment we meet them, and we cannot explain what is that connection, and we feel connected to them for a long period of time, even when we have all the intentions to let them go from our life, we feel that we want them and don't want them. These connections are so much important in our life because they are called soulmate connections. And they are here to help us learn lessons and grow. As you heal, you may encounter different soulmates who play distinct roles in your journey to self-empowerment. Healing as an empath often brings awareness of past people-pleasing patterns and inspires deep self-reflection. You may grieve who you once were, and your connections may shift as you outgrow some relationships and form others. Each soul connection, whether it brings joy or challenges, holds a unique lesson and contributes to your healing journey. Here are some common types. Teacher soulmates. These individuals bring powerful lessons, challenging you to respect yourself and establish boundaries. They may appear in moments when you're ready to learn self-worth and to balance giving with valuing your own energy. Karmic soulmates, often intense and challenging, these relationships help reveal patterns in your people pleasing. Their purpose is to help you grow through discomfort, teaching you to prioritize your own needs over seeking validation from others. Soul ties. Profound and meaningful connections that initially encourage you to give freely. Yet, when they end, they highlight the importance of practicing self-care and maintaining personal boundaries. And twin flames. Known for being transformative and intense, these relationships mirror your own qualities back to you, often reflecting your people-pleasing tendencies. A twin flame connection encourages the journey of self-empowerment and balance. Each type of soulmate serves as a mirror, reflecting both your strengths and your wounds, which encourages growth, boundaries, and self-understanding. Recognizing the role of these relationships can help you appreciate their impact in your journey of self discovery and empowerment. Healing exercise, practicing boundaries by saying no. So, as I was saying at the beginning, to start your healing journey as a wounded empath, you should elevate your boundaries and start saying no. Start today by practicing this simply exercise. I would recommend making a list of your answers for 7 days. At the end, look at your answers and see where you are ready to make some changes on your feedback to people, places, situations. And remember, saying no does not mean you are less nicer. It means you are starting to respect yourself and ready to show how you like to be treated by others. How do you want to live and who do you want to be? Remember, this is the question, 7 days, 7 kind of answers, and you'll see what is for you. When I got sick and I felt lonely in my life for a series of circumstances, I decided I wanted to be happy and fully enjoy my life. I wanted to be graceful, passionate, kind, confident, happy, and peaceful. Someone who makes a difference in the world. I wanted to make people shine. Now, answer the questions, thinking that hypothetically you were in this position. In the deepest part of yourself, how do you really want to live? If you had no fear, doubts, or restrictions, what kind of person would you become? Who are you underneath the image you present to the world? Write your answers, journal them, and you'll find a lot of good things. And you'll find where you can start to say no when you feel that is a no. Now, knowing how you really would love to present yourself to the world. What are those situations where you know you want to say no? Doing this exercise, try to notice how it feels to assert boundaries. Boundaries are what we are made of, meaning what do we like, accept, and value in ourselves. Can you explore any guilt or relief that surfaces as you prioritize your needs? Starting to journal about who you really are can really help you to heal and tap into your inner power that will show you all the hidden potential you are not acknowledging in your life yet. Reflection questions about all the lesson. How does saying no impact your sense of self-worth? After each no, notice any feelings or of guilt or relief and consider what that reveals about your boundaries and self-respect. Can you recall a soulmate connection that encouraged you to set healthier boundaries? How have karmic or teacher soulmates shaped your ability to value yourself without overextending? At the end of this fourth lesson, I would leave you with this prompt. Imagine your ideal self who respects their boundaries and energy. How would this person show up in relationships? And what are some ways you can start aligning with that vision today? Boundaries are acts of self respect, and practicing them allows you to reclaim your energy and live authentically. And if you like this message and all this lesson, I want to thank you for being here. And I want to invite you to lesson 5. It's coming!